record that. There we go. And then we shall get started. That all looks good. Perfect. All right. So sitting nice and comfortably, really in whichever way works for you. And we're going to be here for a moment. So if sitting isn't actually going to work for you this evening and you feel you need to lie down, then that is also absolutely fine. So we'll probably be here for a good 5 minutes or so. So really make sure you're comfortable. If that means you need to sit on a folded up blanket or pillow, just grab something so that your hips can be a little higher than your knees. Stack the legs in a way that suits you. Close the eyes. And then start to settle. You're just going to take a moment to maybe pick up the sounds outside of you, outside of the room you're in if you can. So for me, that's the birds twittering away and the passing traffic. For you, it might be moaning or screaming kids or the neighbors cooking dinner. Without labeling the sound as good or bad, just maybe noticing the sounds out there. And then let those sounds go. Imagine they just kind of melt off into the ether. Bring your attention into the sounds within the space you are in. To being able to pick up the sound of my voice. And then take it further inwards to your own being. See if you can pick up the sound of your breathing. Is it very soft and light this evening, or is there a bit more of a sound, movement to it? And then as you observe your breath, does it feel like the energy is moving outwards from your being, or does it feel like the energy is moving inwards towards you? Just take that click off. Welcome, Ivana. There we go. So as you're sitting or lying there, just noticing if the energy from within, if it feels like it's moving outwards, or if it's moving inwards. Or are you able to pick up the pulsation between an outward movement and an inward movement? And is there one that feels more apparent? And then maybe noticing if there's an upward and a downward movement of energy from the crown of your head right down to the ground below you, and from the ground below you up through the perineum, through the spine up to your head. So noticing if there is that upward and downward sensation of energy flowing or moving. And is one movement more are you able to connect to one sensation more easily than another? And then as you sit or you lie there, wherever you are, just noticing the 4 joints, the joints in your shoulders. So where the arm bone connects into the torso, right and left side, and then your hip joints, your right hip and your left hip. And those 4 points, those 4 areas, noticing how open or how closed they feel. Does it feel like there is a bit of stiffness or tightness there, or does it feel like there is a bit of movement, freedom? Does it even maybe possibly feel like it is too open? Like there's no cohesiveness in those joints? And that just gives us a kind of a good base point from where to work from this evening. If you're finding that the energy is dispersing outwards a lot more, then you might find that when you do your practice, you need to focus on working inwards more. And if you feel that the energy is being drawn in too much, you might feel like you want to focus on being outwardly more. The same with the energy traveling up and down. If you feel that there's a big sensation of the energy moving down into the earth and a sense of heaviness, you might want to feel like allowing that energy to lift up. And if you feel that it's too much up in the ether, you might feel that you need to ground down. And then with the 4 areas, we were chatting about the shoulders and the hips. I just realized it's the name. And then with the shoulders and the hips, just feeling if they are feeling open or closed. There we go. And then from that awareness, enjoying yourself aware as you take yourself through the practice. Sorry if I forgot to let you in there. Welcome. Right, so from here, from that stillness, you can place the hands into Anjali Mudra at your heart center. And you take 3 smooth breaths into the space. Drawing the energy in or out. Drawing the energy up or down. Drawing the energy in towards the 4 joints or outwardly. And then from there, after those 3 breaths, just slide the hands lightly into your shoulders and move into a few shoulder circles. Bring your elbows together and up. As you inhale, exhaling back down and around. Nice big circles. Noticing the sensations now in your shoulders. You close the window because you. Alright. Inhaling as you draw them up and back, exhaling down and around. And then changing direction, circling them the other way, taking them back and up, exhaling together and down. You might find that you will need to spend a bit more time creating lightness by spending more time on the inhalation, bring those elbows up, or you might need to spend a bit more time on the exhalation as you bring the elbows together and down to bring the sensation of grounding and a downward movement energy to you. And you'll generally find your body does automatically what it is needing. Just sinking into that awareness. Releasing, sending the arms out in front and moving into the wrists, circling them. And then if it feels comfortable, feel that you can circle them out to the side so that you can draw them upwards. Forward. Notice which direction you're circling your wrists and then circle them the other way. And then circle them upwards. And out to the side, and down. Perfect. Give those hands a shake. Send the legs out in front, give them a shake as well. Take them a comfortable distance apart and circle into the legs, the hips. There we go. Circling them the other way. And point and flex. Right, so we've warmed up, we've worked into the shoulder joints a little. Let's take it into each of the hip joints. We'll start on the right side. You can bend your right leg up, wrap your arm around it, and take it into just guiding your leg so that you're circling it, kind of circling it into this hip joint. And feeling if it comes naturally to work with inward circles. And then you can change direction, or if it feels more comfortable working with outward circles. And then see if you can flex a foot and rock that baby a little. See if you can keep the chest open. And instead of like doing a big rock from side to side, kind of feel like you're just pivoting more on that sitting bone instead of actually rocking wildly. Can you keep it a fairly small, contained, isolated movement? And noticing maybe which muscles are working or being activated, especially if we've been sitting a lot all day. And feeling that we can now slowly start to release and open up into the hips. Release that right leg, send it out in front. Maybe give it a little bit of a bounce. And before we move to the left side, let's check in with that right leg and notice how it feels compared to the right side. Even just having done that little bit of movement should have made that leg feel a little bit more alive. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to hold on to that left leg and start circling it. Whichever direction comes naturally to you first, whatever direction that leg feels like it wants to move in. And if you need to do really slow circles today, go ahead. If you feel you need to create a little bit more energy and life, and then you might want to make that movement a little faster. If you have been all frazzled and your mind has been busy, then you really want to keep this movement slow. And then change direction, circling that leg the other way. There we go. And then holding on to that leg, flexing the foot, and we're just going to rock the baby. Instead of making it a big swinging movement, it is literally just pivoting on that sitting bone a little, allowing the chest to stay open. Noticing these small or large sensations in that left buttock area. Very gently, very slowly, just saying good evening to that hip. Slowly allowing the energy to start moving up and down through these hip joints. Extend that leg out in front. Give them both a little bit of a shake. Bring the soles of your feet together. Baddha Konasana, your cobbler. Slip your hands around your feet. Start with flapping the knees like a little butterfly. You can close your eyes. This is one of my favorite postures, to just close my eyes, release and relax into. So hopefully you can get that same sensation. When you're ready, allow the flapping to come to an end. Allow the shoulders to relax, the chest to be open. And again, feel your breath as you hold onto your feet or your ankles, your shins or your knees. When you breathe, does the breath not feel like it is moving more outward or inward? Can you feel the difference of kind of the sensation of expanding outwardly on your inhalation and contracting, moving inwardly on your exhalation? And are those two, the inhalations, the exhalations, coming more into balance? If you're feeling ready and open, you may want to tilt forward a little, allowing the chest to move in the direction of the floor, without causing any discomfort in the knees, the ankles, the hips. Still keeping the pulsation of the breath, expanding on the inhalation, contracting on the exhalation. 3 more slow breaths. coming back up to the center. From here, you can cross your legs. You can cross them the more unnatural manner. We were sitting for quite a while earlier, so just see if you can cross them the other way now. We're going to slip the right fingertips onto the mat beside us. As you inhale, bring your left arm up, reach into your left fingertips. And as you exhale, you're going to lean over to the right. We're going to stay here for this evening. You can bend that right elbow if you want. Feel that you can still press your left back down into the ground and opening up through the left side of your torso. Adjust the neck so that it feels comfortable. And breathe. Lengthening. And at the same time, softening. With the next inhalation, bring yourself back up to the center. Exhale, release. Let the left fingertips reach the mat. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up. And as you exhale, you can lean over to the side, lengthening through that arm. Make sure the neck feels comfortable. Press down through the right buttock. And breathe into where you're creating space. If you're finding there's a little bit of tightness or resistance somewhere, you know what, you can breathe into it. Slow, smooth, steady breath. Feeling comfortable and at ease. Inhaling, coming back up to the center. Exhaling, releasing. From here, inhale, see if you can bring both arms up. Exhaling, bring hands down through the center. Notice how this feels. You can close your eyes as you inhale. Take the arms out to the sides and up. If you're gathering the energy, bring the palms of the hands together over your head. And as you exhale, bring them down through the center. Do that once more. Inhale, gathering the energy. And as you exhale, you're grounding it down through. And then we're going to change. We're going to move in the opposite direction. As you inhale, you're now going to take your arms straight up, forward, or straight up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to release out to the sides and down. We do that twice more. So as you inhale, it's as if you're drawing the energy, the stagnation up and out through you. And as you exhale, you're releasing it out and expanding out into the universe. Doing that once more. Inhaling, drawing the energy up. Exhaling, releasing it out. Now, whichever one of these two ways felt more comfortable for you, or felt what you needed, you need to do 3 more of those. So if you feel you need to move energy up and out, if you're feeling a bit stagnant, do so. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed or anxious, you want to bring the energy in. So whichever way you're feeling, you're doing 3 more in your own time. Inhaling as the arms come up, either out from the sides or up through the center, and exhaling as they come down through the center or out through the sides. Twice more. Nice, full, smooth breaths. Getting comfortable and at ease. Noticing how the 2 sides of your body feel. Super. And after that last round, you can release. And then from here, we are actually going to come all the way up standing. So you can come up in whichever way suits you. Oh, this was a bit much, sorry. Here we go. Getting a little bit overexcited there. Standing comfortably in Tadasana, your mountain pose, either with the feet together or a little apart. Arms down by your side. Spreading into your toes and just rocking forwards and backwards. Super. Once more. And then allow the weight to settle kind of evenly over, across your feet, maybe with a little bit more weight into your heels tonight. You need to soften the knees. And from here, we're going to move into a forward bend sequence. On the inhalation, reaching the arms forwards and up. On the exhalation, we're going to come halfway down into a tabletop position. You can bend your knees here so that you can get yourself into a tabletop position. As you inhale, you're going to sweep the arms out to the sides alongside the body. We're going to hold it here for a moment. Then on your next inhalation, you're going to sweep the arms back. As you exhale, you're going to release all the way down into a full forward bend, relaxing the head and the neck so that you're looking through the legs. And then from there, you're going to drop the buttocks. Send the arms forwards and up and use a nice strong squat to come all the way up standing. And as you exhale, either releasing the arms out to the sides and down, or you're bringing them down to the center. Right, so we'll do 3 more rounds in your own time. On the inhalation, the arms lift up. Exhaling, we're coming halfway down. As we inhale, we're going to sweep the arms alongside our hips. As we exhale, we're going to hold this position tonight. Then as you inhale, you're going to sweep the arms back alongside your ears. And as you exhale, come all the way down into your forward bend. Releasing the buttocks down. As you inhale, bring the arms forwards and up. If you need to ground, the arms come down through the center. If you need to release the energy up and out, the arms go out to the sides. Second round, inhaling, the arms go forwards and up. Exhaling, halfway down. Inhale, let the arms swoop out to the sides. They come alongside your hips. Hold it here as you exhale. Inhale as you sweep them all the way forwards again. Exhale, come all the way down, releasing down into your forward bend. Releasing the buttocks down with an inhalation. Use your squat to come up safely. And choose which way you would like to release the arms. Last round, inhaling, the arms go forwards and up. Exhaling, halfway down. Inhale, swoop the arms alongside your hips, alongside the buttocks. Hold it as you inhale. Feel that, as you exhale, so that you can strengthen into it. As you inhale, let the shoulders and those arms move forwards. The exhalation, allow yourself to release. Now stay in your forward bend. Hold this position. And bring your fingers so that they're in line with your toes. You can be on your fingertips, or you can have your hands flat or somewhere in between. The head is nicely relaxed. And you're just going to think of allowing the sitting bones to lift up towards the ceiling. You're just gently going to engage the abdominals. So you're not squeezing tight. There's slight activation happening there. Like Jennifer says, you're just smiling into the hip bones. See if you can feel that activation. And with that activation, are you able to lift the sitting bones a little higher, get a little deeper into the back of those legs without causing strain or trauma or any upset in them. Breathing easily and comfortably here. If you feel that you're a little lightheaded or your blood pressure is a little low, then maybe lift your head, come right up onto the fingertips so that your head isn't as low as your heart. And then when you're ready to come out of it, releasing the buttocks. You need to release quite low down. You need to feel the strength building in your legs already. Those thighs should be saying, good evening. And then extend the arms out in front. Inhale, press down through the feet. Come all the way up. And as you exhale, release the arms out to the sides and down. Stay here for a moment. Soften into the legs, soften into the feet. and breathe. Notice that there's a little bit of heat, a little bit of activation, strength, energy being created with that sequence. We're going to build on that now. We're going to build on that heat that we form by taking the legs out to the sides. Let's angle the heels in and the toes out a little. We're going to be working into 3-part squat. So each round we do, we're going to go a little bit deeper. You've done this with me before as we breathe. So start off with a little basic squat, just a little bit of a bend. Interlock the fingers in front of you. When you're ready, on an inhalation, bring the hands up to your heart, simply drawing the energy. Exhale as you round your spine a little here, extending the arms out in front. Inhale, you're reaching the arms up as you straighten up again. As you exhale, you're going to bend the elbows, bring the hands behind your head. Inhale as you reach the arms up. And then from here again, you choose. You either exhale, releasing the arms out to the sides, or you're going to exhale and you're going to bring them down in front of you. If you need grounding, you bring them down in front of you. If you need releasing, they come out to the side. Sink a little deeper into your squat. We're staying here. Inhaling, the energy comes up. Exhaling as we round. Inhaling as we draw the arms up, straightening up the torso. Exhale as you bend your elbows, slipping your hands behind your head. Inhale as you reach those arms up. Exhaling, the arms come out to the sides or down through the center. And as your arms come down, you need to sink a little deeper into your squat. Inhaling as you draw the energy up. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you lift and open, creating space. Exhale as you work into the shoulders, bending the elbows, working into those 2 shoulder joints. Inhale, the arms come up. And you choose, do you need grounding or do you need releasing and opening? Sink a little bit further into your squat. And then when you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. And walk the feet in and out towards each other. Good job, well done. You can give those legs a little bit of a shake. And then from here, you are invited to come and lie on your backs because that was a lot of hard heating work. You may want to grab a pillow that you can place underneath your head already. Coming down in a safe manner. Just change the screen a little again. And as you come and rest on your back, you can have those knees nicely bent. From here, as you lie on your back with the knees bent, take the attention into your hip bones. So you can place your hands lightly onto your hips. And take your breath down into that area. Not that it's actually physically going, it's just your awareness moving down into the hips. Good. Now with that awareness, allow your back to surrender into the ground. So it can feel the support. It doesn't need to do anything. It's surrendering into the ground. And with an inhalation, you're going to very, very gently lift your right foot off the mat without rocking the pelvis too. So you're just going to lift ever so slightly off the mat. And then you're going to place it back down. And then you do the same thing on the other side. As you inhale, ever so slightly, you're going to lift the left foot off the mat. And as you exhale, you're going to place it down. As you do this, lifting one foot and then placing it down and then lifting the other foot, you're going to do so without allowing the pelvis to rock. So there's complete kind of control, not control in a hard way, but awareness and activation of the deep abdominal muscles engaging to help you lift your foot. And what these muscles are doing is, especially kind of if you're sitting a lot or driving a lot, that kind of stuff, the deep supporting core muscles often don't get activated, and the supporting muscles of the back. So just by doing this very slight movement, you're helping the muscles, the ligaments, especially around the sacroiliac joint, to start kind of engaging and holding that area a little better. Once more to either side. This really is such a lovely practice. It seems like something so simple, but it is so deep and so effective. Great. Lovely. After that last one, releasing. If you do have a support under your head, I'm going to ask you to move that away for now. The arms are going to come down alongside the body. And then from here, we're going to start moving into Dviparapita. We're going to work into it in a few ways. We start classically. So the feet can come as close to your buttocks as you feel necessary. Feet and knees hip width apart, arms down by your side, gently pressing down into the hands, down through the feet. Noticing again that activation in the hips. Keeping that activation in the hips, press down through the feet. Inhale, you're going to lift your buttocks. You're going to scoop yourself up, rolling through the spine, coming up onto your shoulders or however high you want. Make sure you keep your head in the center so you can always watch for a round or two, and then you can join in if anything's unclear. But most of you have done a bridge with me before, so it should be absolutely fine. The inhalation lifts you up, the exhalation brings you down, and you're doing it to the rhythm of your own breath. Inhaling as you lift up to your highest point this evening, and it might be a really big movement or it might be a small controlled movement. And I feel that you can roll through the spine as if you're rolling through each part of your back as you slowly come and release the buttocks down. Feeling that there's a sense of strength and containment as you press down through the feet and you control the movement with the legs. So we're not allowing the knees to flare out to the side. It's as if you've got a brick between your knees that you're squeezing into, so that there's an inward kind of rotation or sensation. That's it. Good job, guys. Keep going. Now, if you're really feeling that you really need to contain the energy within, then you stick to this movement, coming up and down with the arms down by your side. But if you feel you want to expand into the space outwards, you're going to now inhale, you're going to lift up into your bridge, and you're going to take your arms up and overhead, extending out into the space behind you. And then as you exhale, you're going to return, bringing the arms back and spine down. When we continue, we're going to do 3 or 4 rounds here. If you feel you really need to stay in this extended and open position, you can keep your arms behind you as you exhale and you return your spine back down. And then you can bring the arms back down. So really adapt and change the posture or this dynamic movement to suit your needs. Exhaling as you come down. And if anything is unclear or confusing, you just stick to the very basic. And you'll find that with time, your body will automatically just tell you and let you know what it's needing, what it's wanting. And then you listen to it. On your next inhalation, when you are up at your highest point, you're going to stay there and you're going to hold it for 3 slow, steady breaths. Feeling the strength in the feet as you press down through the feet. Feeling the lifting of the hips and the pelvis easily and effortlessly. It's especially as you send the energy down in the direction of your knees or up towards your knees, I suppose. It's as if you're pushing the legs, the upper legs away from you, creating more length through the thighs, creating more length and openness through the hips. Feeling that there's a sense of stability through the shoulders, lengthening through the neck. The chest is open, the breath is smooth and easy. And after you've held for 3 or 4 rounds of breathing, on an exhalation, you bring yourself all the way back down again. And we'll use our Apanasana as a counter pose. So the knees can come to the chest, hands can come and rest on your knees. Inhale as you send your knees away from you. Exhale as you bend your elbows and you draw your knees towards you. Go a few more rounds. There we go. Super. And then what is always really nice to do after that is some form of inversion. So for those who feel super comfortable and enjoy doing a shoulder stand and know all the precautions that go with it, you are welcome to do it, because I know there are a lot of teachers joining. For those who are a bit like me and just need a nice gentle option, you can just extend the legs up to the ceiling. If you've got a wall nearby or a chair or even a couch or a bed, that's always nice, you can literally just rest your legs up on a support. Otherwise, if you feel like being a little bit more adventurous, you can keep the legs up towards the ceiling. And allow the shoulders again, your spine, your back to settle down. We don't need to make this a very active inversion, form of an inversion. Obviously, if you do take yourself into a shoulder stand, then you do need to make sure that you are activating and extending the legs up towards the ceiling, and that you're lengthening through that spine. 4 slow breaths here. If your legs start to shake or tremor, or you need to release out of the posture, you bend your knees to your chest, you take a breath or 2, and then you extend them up again when you're ready. Soft, light, and free. And that's what we'll go with. You need to create a bit more space in the hips, so the legs need to go a little bit further away from you. Do you need to bring them closer towards each other? Do they need a little bit of space tonight? Soft face, soft jaw. No clenching, no forcing, no straining. That's the lovely enjoyment of the reversing flow of energy, allowing the lymph to drain from the feet, the legs. You might even want to move or circle the feet a little. It feels like there's a bit of stagnation in those feet, especially after you're doing all that standing work. It's just nice to allow the legs, the feet to move a little while the legs are up. You can feel very kind of restorative or nourishing. And then after those 4 breaths, the knees get a really good squeeze to the chest. And we release. Extend your right leg out into the mat in front of you. Hug that left knee towards you. Place your right hand onto your left knee. Let the left arm come out to shoulder level. If you are keeping a pillow under your head stays centered. If you are going to be moving your head to the side, you need to take the pillow away. Inhale, as you exhale, you're going to roll onto that right hip, allowing that left knee to come all the way across to the side. And if this arm and shoulder is feeling too tight, you slide that arm as far down alongside that hip as you need to. And if you feel that this leg is just not reaching the ground, you can use again another pillow or another support to help it along. So that again is There's no force, there's no straining or pushing this leg down. It is going at its own pace in its own time. Last week we were working quite a few twists. So hopefully the body remembers that. When you're ready on an inhalation, you can bring yourself back up again. Bring that left knee towards you, squeeze it in. You might even want to bring the forehead to your knee and then switch over. You can extend your left leg. Just take a moment to again observe how the one side feels to the other. If you were using a support, you might want to get that ready. Bring your right knee up towards your chest. Place your left hand onto the outside of your right knee. The right arm can come out to about shoulder level. It will always move depending on what's happening. And then as you exhale, allow that leg to move over. If you need to, slip a support underneath where you're needing. Let this arm slide down to where it needs to be. You can turn your head to the right if you're not using a pillow under your head. Otherwise, keep it in the center. And breathe into the space. Just where the twist is, where there's a bit of resistance. And invite yourself to relax into it. Soft, soft, soft. Lovely. There's always one side that you can usually stay in forever. When you really bring yourself back up and out, and one side that you really don't want to. And as you exhale, squeeze that knee in towards you. And extend that leg out. Super. Great. All right, not the most elegant posture of all yoga postures, but we'll end with the happy baby. And for that, bringing the legs back up again, bring the knees to the chest. You can slip your arms through the inside. You can grab hold of the outside of your feet. And then from here, feel that you can press the sacrum down in the direction of the mat. And very slowly allow the soles of the feet to move up towards the ceiling. And we're holding this. So you're still actively pressing the sacrum down in the direction of the mat. So you want to watch that the buttock doesn't lift up so that you can bring your knees under your shoulders. You want to try and press the buttocks back and down, the sacrum back and down. And then from there, ooh la la, feel how those hamstrings are, or the inner thighs are saying good evening. 3 or 4 slow breaths. Keep holding it here, keep breathing. Just going to turn my fan off quickly. Last breath. And then from there you can release. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. Bring them in towards you. Give them a lovely squeeze and containing the energy. And then from here, you can make yourself comfortable for relaxation. So if you want, you can keep the knees bent. You can slip a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees. If you want to extend the legs out, you can slip a pillow underneath your head or an eye bag. Whatever works for you. If you need to switch your lights off, maybe jump up quickly and go and do that. Well, not quickly, but slowly. There we go. If you need to put a jersey on, I'm not really sure what the weather's like down in Cape Town, but if you need to slip your jersey on or a blanket, then do so. And then while you're lying there, or when you get yourself down onto your mat, start off by feeling the contact of the ground beneath you. And then just allow your head to release a little from side to side. Bring your head back to the center. Make tight twists of your hands. Reach your hands down towards your feet. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax and release. Soft arms, soft hands, relaxed fingers. And flex the feet, tighten the thighs, tighten the buttocks. Squeeze as much as you feel necessary. And as you exhale, relax and release. Inhale deeply, allow your belly to expand. And then sigh the air out. Letting the breath go. Do that twice more. Inhale, feel how the belly rises. And then sigh the air out. And last time, inhale, belly rises, breathing into your whole being. Your whole being expands. And as you exhale, release, relax, let go. Lovely. And in the stillness, notice how your face and your head relax. Notice how the shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers relax. As you breathe and your awareness moves to your torso, notice how your whole torso softens and releases. The spine and the back, front of the body, the chest, the abdomen. Breathing down into the pelvis. And allowing that whole pelvic basin to soften. Inhale down into the legs and you relax the legs, the knees, the ankles, feet, and each of the toes. Your whole body beautifully relaxed and at ease. And in this state of relaxation, pick up the rhythm of your breath again. Inhalation, exhalation. And as you pick up the rhythm of your breath with time, you will get that sensation of inhaling and it feeling as if your body or your being is expanding outwardly. And as you exhale, it's as if everything's gently contracting and returning inward. Inhaling, sense of expansion outwards. Exhaling, returning inward. And just continue to feel that pulsation and how it's maybe a little more balanced or even now towards the end of the yoga session than when you started. Feeling that gentle pulsation of inhaling, expanding, exhaling, returning in. Pulsating to the rhythm of your breath, pulsating to the rhythm of the universe. And then release that sensation. Let it go. Draw the attention to the crown of your head. Just start to feel the energy moving from the crown of your head down through your Sushumna Nadi, your central energy channel, right down to the tip of your tailbone. And then back up again. You might find that as you inhale, your awareness moves up. As you exhale, the awareness moves down. Breathing up and down along that imaginary line. Again, noticing how that upward and that downward movement are feeling a lot more even now towards the end of the session than when you started. And now release that sensation, let it go. And draw your attention to the two shoulder sockets and the two hip sockets, where the arms meet the torso and the legs meet the hips, the pelvis. As you focus on those four areas, maybe start with just the shoulders first, noticing there's a bit of a spiraling sensation or a circling sensation in the shoulders. And when you notice that sensation, noticing if there's a freedom of movement into and out of the shoulders, so from the torso down to the limbs, and from the limbs to the torso. Maybe just focusing on the area of the shoulders first for a few breaths. And then moving the attention down to the hips and doing the same, maybe noticing a spiraling sensation in the hips or more of a circling sensation in the hips, and a freedom of energy, blood, lymph moving in and out, up and down through those joints. And then see if you can work with all 4 points. Maybe inhaling a sense of energy moving to the limbs and exhaling the energy moving back towards the torso. Noticing how that feels, and that again, that inward and outward movement through those 4 joints feel even. Is there freedom in the shoulders? Is there freedom in the hips? And then when you're ready, slowly release that awareness, letting it go. And for the next minute or so, just enjoy being in the rhythm. Allowing your whole being to breathe with the pulsation of that universe again. Just being. Allowing any sensations or feelings to arise. And as they arise, let them just drift off or melt away into the ether. So all that's left is the breath. Anytime a thought or a sensation arises, acknowledge it and lovingly let it drift off into the ether. And then when you are ready, slowly release that practice as well. Bring your attention back to your physical being. Your beautiful, lovely, amazing body resting on the mat. Noticing maybe the sounds within your room. And taking your awareness a little further out, maybe noticing the sounds outside the room you're in. Then bringing the attention back to yourself and start to breathe a little more deeply, noticing the rise and the fall of the chest, noticing the sound of your breath, realizing that you can return into this relaxed state at any point in time. But for now, we're going to allow the thumbs to move along the fingertips, waking up the hands. We're going to wiggle the toes, waking up the feet. When you're ready, you can stretch your arms out. You can yawn if you want to. Stretching diagonally through the body, right arm and left leg, left arm and right leg. Arms one way, legs the other. Take a nice deep breath in and then let it go. And when you're ready, you can draw your knees to your chest, give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock from side to side, do so. Then roll onto your right side. Stay there for a moment or two. Let your body readjust. And then when you're ready, coming into a lovely seated position, you can bring the hands to Anjali Mudra at your heart center. And as you settle into this posture, sitting comfortably and easily, observe your breath and take 3 slow, meaningful breaths with full awareness, I should say. Now, as you do those 3 breaths, as always, think of 3 things you're grateful for that happened today. And then from there, you can throw your head down and acknowledge the absolutely fabulously amazing being you are. And then with a smile on your face, you can lift your head again. You can rub the palms of your hands together, cup them over your eyes, smooth breath in, long the sigh out, blink the eyes a few times. And you can remove your hands, getting used to the light again. And namaste. Thank you everyone for joining again this evening. So lovely having you all here. And I look forward to seeing you next week again.